We get it. You're well read. Sorry, next question.
Matthew in Los Angeles says, "Hey Mindy, long-time listener, first-time caller here. Can you please tell the story of Amy Schumer prank texting Katie Couric's husband from your own point-blank eyewitness perspective?"
So, I was receiving, so Amy Schumer recently told a story on Jimmy Fallon about this incident that happened. And I was at the Glamour Women of the Year Awards last year, and Stephen Colbert introduced me and wrote a very nice speech about me that I went up and accepted this Women of the Year award. And then afterwards, Glamour held this very fancy dinner party, and there was about 10 different tables, and like, it was all these incredibly famous people were there. I think like Chelsea Clinton and her mom were there, and Laverne Cox, and I was at a table with Stephen Colbert, Katie Couric, and Katie Couric's husband, Amy Schumer, who I think I like met that night, and a couple other comedians, and I had invited my best friend Jocelyn from New York and her husband. So we were there, and my assistant friend Sonia, who's here today as well. Wow, that was like resounding applause for Sonia.
She deserved it.
She deserves it. She works really hard. I felt like I had to say that, but she does. Anyway, so we're sitting at this table, and Amy is very wild. Everyone is getting very drunk except for me and Stephen Colbert, which seems in keeping kind of with what it is. And Katie Couric's husband is the one that is like the most drunk. And Katie Couric's a little tipsy too. Very charming, nice people. They leave, the two of them leave to go talk to like Ariana Huffington or something at a different table. And I'm like just sitting there eating bread, talking to Stephen Colbert about his Catholicism, like being so boring. And Amy Schumer is like, I'm not gonna like sit here and have a boring night. Like I'm gonna have a fun like Amy Schumer night. And so I think that, Katie Couric had left her phone on the table. And so I did not see this happen, but she like flipped open the phone, and she had not gone to like where you had to put your code in it, and she texted her husband, Katie Couric's husband.
If you want to do a very dirty thing.
Yes, if you wanted to do like a very dirty sexual thing. And then closed the phone, and then said to me and Stephen Colbert, "You will not believe what I just did." And then we said, "What?" And then she showed us, and I was like, I can't believe that. She's like, "Okay, what happened?" And I said, "What do you mean it happened? You did it." And then Katie Couric and her husband came back to the table, and I was like, just so badly wanted to be like, "I didn't do it, that wasn't me." But I didn't want to like sell her out because I wanted to be like cool comedy girl. It was very tense.
Save Katie's marriage.
Yes. And Sam Carey's marriage. But yes, that was that. So it was very, very funny. I'm so glad I didn't leave my phone on the table.
Mindy, Amy Lambert writes, "Was there ever a time when someone told you not to do something, but you did it anyway and it paid off?"
Like every day. I think that maybe before I was on The Office and I was known, I think that I just had to get used to the hum of discouragement that I received from people other than my parents for almost my entire life. And sometimes it would be about things like sports, which I didn't care about. And I was like, yeah, you're right, I really shouldn't try to play baseball. Like, why would I be good at soccer? I'm terrible. And it didn't matter. And then some other things were things like acting in plays where, like almost continuously from 8th grade until through high school and then even in college, like I was not really ever like the lead in any production or anything, and or even had a significantly like a big part in anything. And I think that I was very lucky to have parents who kind of largely didn't care about that kind of thing or tell me to care about that kind of thing, and for whatever reason I had a switch that ignored it. So, but yeah, I think that I think it happens all the time. I think even now, for things like the whole world of movies and things like that, it's like if I want to go in for a role or something, very recently, there was,
As an actress, I would say, tell me if you think this is correct, there's
Yeah.
no level of success, just on the acting side,
yeah.
there's no level of success you can get without rejection. Even up
for
to the
sure.
very top, which is such a strange thing, because you think of actors as this.
Yes. No, and rejection is something that is natural for this kind of a business, and it's a little traumatizing, but you can deal with it. Discouragement is, I think, a different side of this, and but I've kind of gone around it by just writing my own material, which is literally
Do you have any advice for chronic procrastinators? I would be sitting in the front row Orchestra Street seats right now. Instead, I'm up in the terrace.
You're a procrastinator. Is that the question? Advice
Yeah.
for procrastinators?
Yes, advice for procrastinators.
I feel like you are the platonic ideal of blending procrastination with work.
Okay.
Like for you, it's like you sit at the computer, you know the work is there,
Yes.
and you procrastinate while working.
And it's like
Like you give yourself
insult.
constantly like,
Yes.
no, it really isn't, because
Yeah.
it gets the work done. You're sitting there. I think
What do you?
that's just something I'm doing.
Well, I can
First step is you sit at the computer.
Yes. It's sit, do
And
some
if
chit
any
chat.
little distraction you have from that point on doesn't take you away from your computer, and you're going to get the work done.
Yes. I mean, the way that I do my work is that I need to have goalposts within my work. Like I can only when we're rewriting for instance, like tomorrow when I go to work and we're going to be rewriting a script. After we get to like the first two scenes, I then need to see a YouTube clip of like two bears in Yosemite, either bear or baby bear in Yosemite crossing the street. And then we do like another thing, and then I want to hear a story of someone going on a date in my writer's room that went terribly. Then we do like another two things, and I know we have lunch. So I can never, procrastination to me is born of thinking of things that's too big, as like a huge boulder. And I think I learned long ago that, you notice in my book, actually, because you guys all have it, it's like, if you think of it as when I thought of it as just like, okay, just have to write a bunch of essays, it was almost impossible to do. But there's so many sections. There's like 8 sections within each of those sections. There's like the essays are in there. So I made it really small, and that's how I've been able to like kind of do all of the tasks that we have to do. So rewards, tiny rewards.
David asks, what 5 people, dead or alive, would you like to have dinner with? And what would dinner be?
Okay, do these 5 people get to have plus ones? Because I can never know. I don't want
I say no, that's too many.
too many people.
Yeah. All of a sudden you're bringing 12 people or whatever.
Because some people I want to bring, like, I want to be like, I love to dinner with Mick Jagger, but I don't want to, who's he going to bring? Do you know what I mean?
Some like ran down, yeah.
Yeah. He's going to bring some Reno, and I'm not talking to them the whole night.
He'd be cool.
Who?
Throw Mick Jagger in, it'd be cool.
I think Mick Jagger would be
Yeah.
great.
No plus one.
Because I think, no, Mick Jagger, no plus one. What other people who... See, here's why I'd pick up someone in music. Don't you feel like you can write, you can act, you can be in Hollywood and that, but music trumps everything. If you're if you're like a pop star, rock star, that's the coolest person you could be of all the hierarchy of life, of human life.
And it's the one job where if you bring them to, say, dinner, no one's allowed to call bullshit if you're like, hey, can you just play like one song?
Yeah.
Whereas they never ask you, can you act like one scene?
Yes.
Can you write me a page of dialogue? No, and a musician, it sucks for them, but like they always have to be able to be like,
Yes.
satisfaction.
Right.
Mick Jagger. Yeah.
Good Mick Jagger reference. Okay, so I think, so the people dead or alive, dead or
Oh,
alive.
more. Cool.
Okay, Amelia Earhart.
Cool.
Very interesting.
Mysterious.
Mysterious. Robert E. Lee.
Her.
This young
It was
woman.
like me. I'll mix it up.
Mix it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Robert E. Lee, I think
Edgy.
is fascinating.
Edgy choice. I like it.
Edgy?
Yeah. Confederate general. A rough cause. I mean, put him in the room with Mick Jagger, who knows? Definitely Beyonce. Great. No +1, right?
Beyonce be great to have dinner with?
I don't know. I would
I don't need to
you would
see
feel
Beyonce
bad.
eat her vegan
She's
food.
just
I
gonna
want
make you.
to.
She'll make you feel bad.
Who's storytellers? You know, maybe we need more criminals. Like maybe because maybe
Robert Durst.
Beyonce, Robert Durst would be a better.
He's not gonna kill you there. There's too
Oh,
many
like
witnesses.
me or Robert Durst. I'm not condoning him, but you would like to have dinner with Robert Durst.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give him some Alka-Seltzer though.
He burps.
That's
That's very charming.
That was charming.
Robert Durst, Mick Jagger.
Who are we kidding? Straight up 100% murderers, right?
This all famous murder, Scott Peterson, etc. Just famous.
No, not
He's
Scott
too bad.
Peterson.
Too edgy.
John Wilkes Booth.
Right. He's an actor.
He's an actor.
He's an actor, passionate.
No one talks about the fact that when John Wilkes Booth was basically like Harrison Ford killing the president. It was like Harrison Ford during Indiana Jones time, assassinating the president. He was one of the most famous actors from a dynasty of actors. In the Players Club in New York City, there's like Wilkes Booth chair there because they
What's that park in New York that fancy people live around?
Central Park?
No. The rich people in little parks. Gramercy Park.
Yeah.
His brother founded Gramercy
That's
Park.
what I'm talking about, the Players Club.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So he was incredibly
He
famous.
was like
actor.
cool and famous, and
then he killed a president.
but I'm against it. I don't care what anyone says. And I would tell him at this party where I'm not invited to wear it.
No, I'd give him a talking to for sure. Hey,
Okay, so John Wilkes Booth, half the people you mentioned are members of the Confederacy. Maybe someone to
you know, I
balance
think
it
Hillary
out.
Clinton, I would love to talk to her. I think I think Hillary Clinton would be
That
great.
would be great.
And like, I don't know, like Whitey Bulger. Okay, next question. Obviously Whitey
The
Bulger.
greatest dinner party I've ever heard. Sounds
Well,
amazing.
next time everybody's in town, we'll try to make that happen. Next question. My parents are Indian. I was born in the U.S. I respect and love the traditions of my Indian culture and heritage.